Hello Yanderes and Senpais, and welcome to a slightly different video. Today I'm going to be talking about a certain Formula 1 team's livery history and the interesting tactics they still get up to today to sneak a forbidden sponsor into the sport. Without further ado, let's begin. For well over half a century, Scuderia Ferrari has been an icon, winning multiple world championships to legendary drivers. There's no doubt that the Scuderia is the most iconic F1 team. But since the mid-1980s, Ferrari have been sponsored by a questionable company, with said company selling out spots on their cars for other sponsors. I'm of course talking about Philip Morris International and their Marlboro cigarette brand. They originally started out as a minor sponsor for the team, whilst being a title sponsor for McLaren, and this wouldn't change for several years to come either. The Marlboro logo would appear on the side pods of the car, with the iconic chevron bearing the driver's name on it. Come 1993 and things would start to change with the Scuderia. Marlboro started to become more prominent on the Ferrari, evident by the white space across the back of the car. On top of that, the Marlboro logo now appeared on the rear ring with two chevrons alongside the Marlboro logo. More change would come in 1996 as Marlboro became the title sponsor for the Scuderia Ferrari, with the logos on the rear ring, all across the driver's helmets, and on the side parts of the Ferrari F310. In the same year, however, Philip Morris was still the title sponsor for McLaren International, the famous chevron livery coating the MP411. Marlboro is essentially sponsoring two rival teams. This made things slightly harder for F1 fans to identify which car was which, since they both almost looked identical. Thankfully, this confusion would end in 1997 when Marlboro pulled their sponsorship from McLaren to focus solely on Ferrari. McLaren soon found new sponsorship from the German cigarette company Rest. From 1997, Scuderia Ferrari renamed themselves the Scuderia Ferrari Marlboro, a sign of commitment as a result of this sponsorship. From 1997 to 2001, the Marlboro logo appeared on the engine casing with the chevron appearing above it. In countries where cigarette advertising was forbidden, the Marlboro logo was replaced with a barcode, while strangely the chevron logo was retained. The cars looked similar throughout the years, with slight technical changes and design improvements. Then 2002 came around. Ferrari released their car for the year, the F2002. One of the most fastest racing cars ever built, the F2002 was incredibly dominant. As for its livery, they received a new sponsor, British telecommunications company Vodafone. The logos appeared on the wing, nose, mirrors and side pod. As for the Marlboro branding, it took a slight twist. The chevron was replaced by a right space on the engine cover. Because of the unique shape of the F1 car, the engine cover's slope almost resembles a chevron. The following year's F2003 GA didn't change much for livery-wise, with prominent Vodafone and Marlboro branding across the car. However, things would change dramatically in 2004. The Ferrari F2004 would prove to be one of the most fastest and dominant cars in Formula 1 history, with the car winning an incredible 15 races out of 18. Alongside its incredible car, its two main sponsors wore updated logos onto the body. Vodafone took a slight gradient effect with the text being increased so it was more easy to make out. As for Marlboro, the logo on the engine cover, rear ring and nose area was converted to an awesome 3D look. On top of that, Marlboro now appeared on the car's barge board. Needless to say, it's one of the prettiest liveries I've ever seen on a Formula 1 car. Things remained largely the same for the Ferrari F2005, except for some subtle changes. Marlboro now displayed its driver cockpit text and nose text in the same bold black font used for the engine cover and rear ring. Marlboro chevron also appeared just underneath the nose cone. The F2005 would prove to be a massive failure for the team, with the Bridgestone tyres not being able to make the car competitive enough. Besides the awful performance, the F2005 had an incredible livery, with both Vodafone and Marlboro giving the car a fresh look. In races where tobacco advertising was forbidden, the Marlboro logos were replaced by a series of barcodes, and the chevron logo on the nose cone was removed. Despite the chunky barcode livery, it still looks pretty incredible. 2006 saw the beginning of the end for explicit Marlboro branding on the Ferraris. The new Ferrari 248 F1 featured some tweaked aero changes, including an updated wing, but for the most part it's similar to the F2004 and F2005. Vodafone updated their branding by introducing a 3D logo and updated text. The new logo was a great fresh look for the Ferrari and made it look even more modern alongside the aero designs. The Marlboro logos remained the same as the previous 2 years, with the glossy black text prominent on the car. However, the logo only appeared at 6 races, with the FIA European tobacco ban taking effect. This meant it was prohibited to promote tobacco companies on the cars. As a result of this, Renault lost their Mild 7 partnership and Honda lost their title sponsor, Lucky Strike. Despite other tobacco companies leaving the sport, Marlboro would eventually extend their contract with Ferrari. This is obvious when the season opener saw a new realistic barcode design in Australia. Although Marlboro branding was now prohibited for most races and Ferrari used the barcode in replacement of the logos, everyone knew exactly what the barcode was supposed to represent. It should also be noted that the car was still in Marlboro's red colour scheme, and with the F2007 this colour scheme remained, for now at least. In Australia and Malaysia, the Scuderia appeared in the barcode livery I mentioned earlier. Although it was clearly a cover-up for Marlboro, a lot of racing fans loved the livery. They claimed it made the car look more fast and appealing. You may have noticed by now that there's no Vodafone logos on the F2007. This is because Vodafone pulled from Scuderia Ferrari Marlboro to become McLaren's title sponsor in 2007. It's also important to note that there's no white on the F2007 apart from the barcodes. The car was pretty much coated in all red, the first time since the early 1990s. This all-red scheme would remain until 2008. The car and its livery kept the barcode until Bahrain came around. The image you're seeing isn't photoshopped nor edited in any way. This is what the Marlboro branding looked like on the F2007. It's interesting because as a kid I remember seeing the F2007 but only in the barcode livery. My brain either filtered out or chose not to remember the prominent branding. Regardless, Marlboro were brave to show their explicit branding when you take the FIA's tobacco ban into consideration. Everyone's suits at Ferrari were once again coated with Marlboro logos, although the giant logo on the abdomen area was removed for 2007. On the car, driver's helmets, and back of their uniforms, the Marlboro logo was now in an italic version of its corporate font, with a tiny chevron logo appearing on the top right of the logo. Of course, the livery reverted back to the barcode livery for the Spanish Grand Prix, as tobacco advertising was forbidden in Europe. However, Marlboro branding would return for the Monaco Grand Prix. Even more change came at this event, where the colour scheme was switched to Rosso Corsa Red, the return of the iconic colour since the 1990s. Alongside this livery change, there was also trackside banners across the track bearing Marlboro branding. Some journalists called this a dark age in F1. It seemed like the sport would never shake off Philip Morris and its cigarette brand. However, it would return for one more race, Shanghai in China, before never appearing explicitly in the sport again. For the rest of 2007, the barcode livery would be the bare face of the Scuderia. Come 2008, and Marlboro branding would appear on an F1 car for the last time during pre-season testing in Bahrain. These pictures show Felipe Massa and Kimi Räikkönen testing the F2008 around Sakira in dusk, with the number one appearing on Räikkönen's car. From the season opener onwards, the Marlboro logo was permanently replaced by a barcode. It was now less prominent on the car compared to 2007. The barcode would remain for 2009 and 2010 on the Ferrari F60 and F10. Early in 2010, Ferrari finally removed the barcode from its car. As a result of this, there was now a massive red space. In 2011, Ferrari would release a new logo for their F1 team, and subsequently revert their name back to Scuderia Ferrari. For the next few years, each of Ferrari's new cars would bear this new logo. Ferrari's car would bear this logo for several years until 2018, when the logo was removed from the car, and a few races later it was replaced by a mysterious logo. Ferrari later revealed a new title sponsor for the team, called Mission Winnow. According to them, Mission Winnow is an initiative inspired by the drive and dedication of their partners. Not only was this not convincing at all, it turns out Mission Winnow is owned by Philip Morris International, the same guys who make Marlboro. So of course, for the following year, several countries banned the use of the Mission Winnow logo, and in 2020 it was completely scrapped from the Scuderia. So that was the history of Marlboro's sponsorship with Scuderia Ferrari. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.